Good morning everyone. Welcome back for today's news analysis and hope so everyone is doing great and well. Chaliye, let us start with the current affairs, and today's article is very important from science and technology point of view. That is basically related to your something gene editing. So kind of we can say that we will going to see what are the particularly concepts which science is using for working on the different kind of diseases, and we will going to see what is actually this a technique is all about, which is actually gaining relevance and importance in the current scenario. And because lot of people earlier, this thing also I have discussed earlier live also in earlier live, that on an average let's say there was an era when every second or third or like every 10th person in short was suffering from tuberculosis, but we have found out the way ki how we can overcome this tuberculosis. But now when we see the current scenario, so now every 10th or 20th person, halaki this is not exactly the data, but it's just kind of hypothetical thing, kind of we can see that ki on an average every 25th 20th person is suffering from a disease that is cancer. So now we are working on the technology how we can basically counter this cancer, and this particularly technology which we will going to discuss as one of the first article of the series, that will going to help in a very effective manner. So what is this first article is talking about? Precision biotherapeutics bring together genetic science, molecular biology and data analytics to design therapies that identify and rectify the causes of illness. So this is what actually the precision biotherapeutics has been done. Now what is actually this precision biotherapeutics? So first of all we need to understand this. Obviously, this is a DNA. From here you can see the image. Let us try to understand this concept from this image rather than going to the jumping to the definition. So this is basically an image. Now, let's say this DNA may only this part is having the problem. Okay, only this part is, let's say, having a problem. But what we have to do, earlier we were not having the technology to work on only this part of the DNA or the cell. But now with this precision technology, we have now technology with this basically the process. We have technology that we can we can actually operate the only targeted area. Yani we can target only the affected area and we can actually resolve the problem which is going on in body. That is exactly the precision. Yani ki if this is my body and I am having pain here, so rather than मेरे पूरे हाथ में दवाई लगाने की जगह, now I have a particularly technology जिसकी वजह से I will only going to basically treat only this thing. This is what actually the precision biotherapeutics means. So what does that mean? Precision biotherapeutics means creating highly targeted medical treatment that act only on the disease cell and tissue without harming the healthy parts of the body. Earlier what we used to do, we actually, agar someone is having operation of your liver, then other body parts are equally affected. They are also in a very high risk if operation is going on. But now with this precision biotherapeutics, we can actually target the basically the cell or the particularly whatever the interior structure tissue is affected, exactly usko cut karke we can actually work on that without harming the other parts of the body. And this is a very effective technology which you will see related to the science and tech. Very good morning, beta Milana. So that's why this technology is very important. Precision biotherapeutics means creating highly targeted medical treatments that acts only on the disease cells or tissues without harming the healthy parts of the body. Now, why it is called precision? Obviously, the particularly thing which we have saw in the diagram, it is exactly targeting the affected area rather than disturbing the other particularly things. So that's why it is known as precision. Let us see what actually some technical concepts talk about the precision. So because of the treatment is designed based on person genes, yani ki DNA mein there is a problem, definitely they will going to target the DNA. Second, if the cell may problem, they will exactly going to target the cell. If immune system में something is there, then definitely they will going to target there, and it's a basically it can also trace the unique disease pattern which is going on in body. Yani ki this is equally benefit for the rare diseases. We know that there are a lot of rare diseases which we can see in the country, like which actually any person in lakh or 10 lakh is facing from such kind of a diseases. So these kind of precision biotherapeutics basically will going to also help to counter those basically rare diseases which are one of the major major concern of the medical field. So that's why this will going to affect, this is very effective kind of a therapy, or this is very effective kind of a tool which we are currently working on. So the therapy works exactly where it is needed, reducing the side effects, especially in the cancer. Why I have started with cancer? Because majority time क्या होता था, whenever a cancer patient after the operation, when they used to take, or during the process when they used to take when they are taking actually chemotherapy and radiation, the other body parts are equally affected, other cells are equally affected, बाल गिर जाते हैं, the whole particularly hair, normal hair, facial hairs, these eyebrows, everything is actually hampered. Plus with this chemotherapy and radiation, other healthy cells are also affected. So with this basically technology, specifically this could be if we actually work in a very efficient manner, then definitely this will going to help us to fight cancer in a very effective manner. जैसे कि CAR T cell therapy, which we have already discussed about, that is a cancer therapy which India is working on. So that's why this is one of the very impactful tools specifically for the cancer in India. So that's why I hope so in a very easy language I have made myself, I have tried to make myself clear. Now precision biotherapeutics is an umbrella term that covers, now there are different kind of therapies which are covered under this your precision biotherapeutics. So first of all is your gene therapy. Now under this gene therapy, let us understand the process by a diagram. So what happened, this is basically a cell and there is basically a gene which is present in the cell which is non-functional. यानी कि there is some gene which is present in my body and उसके अंदर मतलब there is a cell which is present in my body and it carries a gene which is non-functional. यानी कि it should be functional, and because of that non-functional of that basically gene in my body, I am not able to do something, like I have some kind of a problem in my body. So under this is gene therapy, under this precision biotherapeutics, what we will going to do? First of all, we will going to remove this basically gene which is non-functional. We will going to replace this with a kind of a functional gene. यानी कि cell with no functional gene you can see here. Second, adding DNA containing a functional precision or version of lost gene. यानी कि इसके में we will going to इस cell में with the precision biotherapeutics का one of the type, that is gene therapy, we can actually replace that with, or we can add the DNA with the same kind of a gene with functional quality in my cell, and then my cell will start functioning normally. यानी कि अभी I am not having something to tell you. यानी कि जैसे let's see, this is basically अभी in simple language में let us understand कि this is my cell. ठीक है, in this my cell, this is kind of a particularly concept which is very important, let's say for my normal functioning of the body, but this particularly gene is not working well. Now with the gene therapy, what I will do, I will specifically with this gene therapy will going to target this area. What I will do, I will going to add the DNA or the gene which is actually having the same functional quality, so that कि जो because of this dysfunctional gene which is present in my cell, because of which I was not able to do or perform something, now because they have added the DNA with the same kind of a gene functionality, now my cells are working in a healthy manner. This is what your gene therapy look like, and this is what your precision part of your precision biotherapeutics which you will see. So gene therapies fix or replace the faulty genes, यानी कि the genes which is actually present in my cells. We also know that our body is made up of cells and tissues. So अब वो cells and tissues, if they are working effectively, only then my body is also working effectively. If there is any kind of a damage is present in the cells and tissue, then definitely I will going to face a lot of issues related to my body. So under this gene therapy, what we do, either we replace or we fix these faulty genes which are present in my body, so that that particular cell can function in an effective manner. Example, using CRISPR to correct a defective gene that causes genetical disorder, and same CRISPR protein Cas9 protein के बारे में UPSC have asked in prelims twice. So that's why this is very important therapy which you will see. Hope so you have understood this gene therapy wala concept. It's a very simple process. It's just as simple as that कि आप बोलते ना कि एक छोटा सा एक गंदी मछली पूरे तालाब को गंदा कर देती है. तो what you are doing under this basically gene therapy, आप उसी गंदी मछली को निकाल के एक अच्छी मछली डाल दे रहे हो. It's just as simple as that. इससे easily I don't think so I can explain you. So this is what actually gene therapy looks like. Hope so you have understood this. Now the second kind of basically precision biotherapeutics which you will see, that is your cell therapies. So first of all is your gene therapies, जिसमें you replace or basically fix the faulty क्या बोलते हैं genes which are present in the body, and then cell therapy. Now under the cell therapy you have to understand this all again with the image. ठीक है? Okay. Okay. Let's say someone is having some kind of problem in the body. Now what they will going to do, tumor or a blood samples are taken. So first of all, let's say someone is suffering from any kind of a disease or any kind of a disorder, they have recognized कि भैया हाँ like with the symptoms it might be some kind of a it could lead to some of the major diseases. So let us see what we will do. So under this cell therapy, what we are doing, first of all, we are taking the sample of tumor or the blood sample. Second, T cells. T cells are one of the major cells which are present in the body, and that's why CAR T cell therapy which we are using for the cancer. So there is a cells which are present in the body that is known as T cells. So क्या करेंगे in the second process? T cells are isolated from the samples, यानी कि they have removed the T cells from the particularly tumor and the blood sample which they have taken. Third, T cells are multiplied and offer their functions are enhanced. Now artificially you have taken that T cells out of the body. Now what you are doing, you have with your genetically modification or with your basically editing, what you have did, you have actually enhanced the quantity of the T cells, plus you have added some of the extra nutrition or extra basically stuff which is required in a healthy T cells. So artificially you have done that. T cells are multiplied and often their functions are enhanced. Now fourth cells, T cells are delivered back into the patient as a living drug. Then after the enhanced version of that T cell have been again inserted in the patient body, and T cells continue to multiply within the patient, and उसके बाद body में it again with the natural functioning it is again multiplying in the body, and finally T cells recognize and kill the cancer cell. So this is the CAR-T technology which is we are using, and this is also the kind of gene therapy under the precision biotherapeutics. Hope so you have understood this part as well. So it's very simple process. T cells are one of the important cells which are present in body to fight cancers. So what we are doing under this CAR-T process, we are taking the particularly sample of the blood and we are taking the sample of the basically tumor. From that we are removing the unhealthy, we are removing the basically T cells, and then artificially we are enhancing the quality and multiplying the number of that T cells, and again in a form of a drug, in a form of medicine, we are inserting that T cells in the body of the human which is suffering from cancer, and naturally these T cells are multiplying in the body and they are eating the cancer cells which are present in the body. Why? Because the T cells which were fighting against the cancer cells, now they have become more powerful. So now they will going to eat or they will going to defeat the basically cancer cells which are body, and the chances becomes very high कि cancer will going to be, these T cells will going to basically eat the cancer cells in the body and patient will become cancer free. Hope so things are clear. Modifying or adding special cells to treat a disease is known as cell therapy. Example, CAR-T therapy for cancer, engineered immune cells that attack the cancer cells. If you understood, please just do thumbs up or at least reply in the comment section so that I can understand. It is easy for you guys to understand. If you are understanding the concept, please in the chat session at least write okay, we have understood, yes we have understood, so that I can have an idea ki yes you guys are getting whatever the concept I am telling you here under this precision biotherapeutics. So Number one, gene therapy, where you actually replace or fix the faulty stuff. Second में you are multiplying the healthy cells artificially so that it can help the body to work in a very effective manner. Like CAR-T is like chances of asking this portion in news are very high, because this is one of the important aspect. Government is working really hard, investing a lot of stuff to work on this CAR-T therapy by seeing the number of increasing cases of cancer in the country. Chalo, cool. So this is the second kind of a precision biotherapeutics which you will see. Now mRNA therapies, in this also you teach cells, yani ki artificially you teach cells how basically those cells going to create some kind of a specific protein in the body that will help them to fight against the diseases which are present in the body. Then another kind of basically this precision biotherapeutics which you will see, that is your personalized medicine design according to the patient genetic makeup. Obviously everyone individual is having a different genetic setup, so personalized medicine system, ये ऐसे बोलते नहीं है कि majorly in basically in your beauty salon kind of stuff they say that कि this is your personalized skin routine, यानी कि according to your skin, according to your basically combination skin. जैसे some people they have T zone oily, यानी कि this zone is oily and this portion is dry, so they have personalized skin care for them. Same like that, they are saying that under this precision biotherapeutics we will also going to give you a personalized medicine structure that will going to basically suit your gene या genetic system. So these are one of the four major kind of a precision biotherapeutics which you will going to see in majorly these are importantly used. Number one, gene therapies, which we have discussed. Number two, cell therapies. This is very important from examination point of view, but from hope so from this diagram you have understood what I was trying to tell you. Second is your mRNA therapies, where you actually teach cells to produce more specific proteins that is help to treat the diseases in the body, like your mRNA vaccines that were used in COVID-19. And a personalized medicine kit specifically for target the areas or target the people who are actually suffering from any of the genetic or any kind of a disorders. So this is what these are the types of technologies which you will see. Now, why there is a need of such technology? As we have discussed in the very starting, diseases are different kind of a diseases are growing in the country, because of which the medical system is actually facing the burden of this disease, because on an average 65% of the deaths can be seen in the country because of this non-communicable diseases which you will see. Non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular illness, cancer account for nearly 65% of the death. So that's why this kind of precision technology will definitely going to basically help individual to overcome such kind of a diseases in the country. Then obviously precision, I have discussed about the chemotherapy also. जैसे कि they have discussed about that only कि cancer patients के लिए when we are targeting, like once the cancer का operation has been done or whatever the cells का therapy has been done, but then we go give them chemo and radiation, so that is also killing the bad cells or the cancer cells in the body, but it is also killing the healthy cells in the body, so that's because of which the patient becomes very weak. So that's why if a precision technology will be used, then the particularly during this process or during this after process of the cancer, the person, the individual who is suffering from cancer, uski khali bad cells pe we can target and kill, rather than also affecting the good cells which are present in the body. So for cancer, especially conventional therapies like chemotherapy often cause significant collateral damage. Targeted biologics or gene cell therapies can be more precise, so that we can protect the good cells or the good genes which are present in the body. क्योंकि अब कैंसर के लिए when you are treating anyone, so you have to make sure कि कुछ भी ऐसा एक्स्ट्रा ना बचे कि भाई कि जिसकी वजह से it could spread. So that's why this is the particularly concept. But yes, we are trying कि थोड़ा सा precise रहेंगे, so we can actually protect the other particularly side effects of the same kind of medicines which we are using. genetical diversity of India. Obviously, India is also a very diverse country, not from only cultural and religion and languages purpose, but also from the genetically diverse population also, because we are one of the largest population of the world. So we are also genetically having a very large number of population, but the technology which we are using, that is one size fit all approach. So that's why we need a personalized medicine system and this kind of precision biotherapeutics, because we want to treat individuals individually, because sabka genetical game is a different. So that's why we need these kind of a drugs, we need these kinds of a technology by seeing the population and the genetical diversity of the country as well. So that's why we need that, and the local solutions. Obviously, why this is needs, because the pharmaceuticals made tested in foreign countries might not work actively in the Indian context. We need to work in the Indian context, because our body structure, our body type is different as compared to the foreign people. So that's why we need to work on these technology in our country, so that we can, Indian people we can test and try, so that particularly people can, Indian population can have the benefit of the technology or the drugs which they are making. So this is very important particular topic from examination point of view, and UPSC is asking something like this. जैसे if you see the PYQs ना, you will see कि medical से, nanotechnology से, biotechnology से, they are asking questions. Space, these are one of the favorite topics of the UPSC. So that's why this technology becomes very important from examination point of view. Now, what are the challenges? So obviously you can understand कि जब इतना बारीक process है, it is such a minute process, such a precision is needed. So definitely the technology will be very expensive. So that's why this is one of the major problem for of this technology, is that it's not like that it is not used in the country. It is used in the country. Many of the particularly hospitals are using these, specifically the cancer specialist hospitals, they are using such technology. But the point here is that they are very expensive. A normal individual or a middle class or a lower middle class individual can't afford this kind of basically services, which is actually very effective. We know that once anyone is affecting from such kind of a disease, and if they are going for such precision therapeutics, definitely it will going to affect the individual, that will going to help to save the life of the individual. But the problem here is that it's very expensive, so we are not able, many of the people section is not able to use this kind of a technology. Second, it requires an advanced lab, and still many of our labs require the basic things which is required for the machineries and basic things which are required for research and development program. That's why if you are continuously following this live session, you might have heard a lot of time we have discussed how basically the government is spending on R&D, that is research and development. Just give me a second. So that is also focusing on research and development. So that's why we lack these kind of advanced labs in biotechnology. That is one of the concern. Then ethical gene editing. There is also ethical concern related to this. Ki ethically it is not right. So that's a different angle. We also study about this in GS paper 4. So this is also one of the section, that is ethical medical क्या बोलते हैं uses of ethical uses of medical ethical uses of these kind of a biotechnology or the advanced technology. So the ethics, this is also one of the important topic from your GS paper 4 perspective as well. Now regulatory issues, long clinical trials are there, and need for obviously the particularly manpower which currently we are having, that is not that skill and advanced. Now what is the reason why they are not very skill and advanced? The reason is that we don't have that kind of a advanced technology in the country. So lot of a circular basic, one of the particularly factor is dependent on the other. So because of this series of basically factors, this is one of the particularly challenges which you will see of using such a effective technology in the country. So that's all for this article. Hope so you have understood each and everything, because I have tried my level best to explain you every complicated thing in a very effective manner. Once you get this PPT, enroll students, once you get this PPT, please go through this PPT. This is very important. You will understand the concepts. Just give me a second. चलिए, the next article, which we are talking about is your women can join territorial army now. Now, from the moment your Operation Sindhur has been started, the particularly word or the term which has gained buzz is your territorial army. So now what is territorial army? What is the act and how it has been started, and now why they are saying that women should also be added in this territorial army? So this becomes very important. So recently it has been basically presented that ki women should also recruited in this territorial army. So first of all we need to understand ki what is territorial army. Dekho, we always say ki, like in a normal world we say ki we are like whenever there is any job vacancy, so normal corporate world ka example let us see. So whenever there is any job vacancy, so it is clearly mentioned there ki bhaiya it is a full time job, it's a part time job. ठीक है, so it is clearly mentioned there if anyone want to go for full time, then they will going to apply for the, they will send their resume to whatever the authorities. If they go for if they want to go for part time, then they will going to apply or send their resume for the same. So it's like a simple process कि भाई every company is not hiring every particularly candidate as a full time. Some of them are basically hiring as a part timer also. So same Indian Army is also doing कि बोला कि some people will be a full time members. They will be full time basically army personals, but some people will be kept as a part time army men or women. That will going to be, we will going to call them in the extreme situation. यानी कि some unexpected disaster has been came into the picture, so we will going to call them during that time ki normal forces are not that effective या normal forces का number is not that effective, then we will going to call these territorial army people for 1 or 2 months ki yes you have to come and join us to basically work on this disaster. If there is any kind of environmental related problem has been arose and the normal military is not that particularly, the number is not that effective, then you will going to call the territorial army. It's kind of a backup force which has been kept, but the point here is that कि if I want to join a territorial army, that means कि हो सकता है कि in 12 months 2 months I have to work for the army as a part time, but 10 months I will work in any of the field. यानी कि 10 months I am teaching here in IAS Origin and 2 months के लिए I am basically part of the Indian Army part timer as a territorial army. ठीक है, so this is what actually the territorial army means. So territorial army is a part-time voluntary citizens army of India that support the regular Indian army during the emergencies. So that's why when Operation Sindhur has occurred, government said that ki if required, if majority of the forces will actually move towards the border, then for the other technical works or other basically the paper works or other medical works, we will going to basically call these territorial army people so that the main army personals, they can actually be engaged on the borders and these territorial army can actually work as a back end of this. So that's why from the Operation Sindhur this buzz has been created. So it's like they only call them during the time of the emergencies and it plays a very vital role in relief operations in internal security support and military logistics, while allowing skilled civilians to contribute to the national defense without leaving their main profession. यानी कि they will not ask me to leave IAS Origin teaching, but they will say that कि भैया जब we will require you month में 1 महीने 2 महीने for few days you have to come and work as a part timer. So this is what actually the concept of territorial army looks like. How it started? So obviously it has been started by Britishers only. 1917 में it was raised as an Indian Defence Force by Britishers. Then it was reorganized as an auxiliary force and Indian Territorial Force in 1920. 1924 में under a Territorial Army Act, 1948 the parliament has passed this act and officially it has become part of the system, and in 1950 formally inaugurated by your C. Rajagopalachari, who was the first governor general. मतलब कहते हैं कि after independence he was the governor general of India, so he was actually responsible for implementing this. So under which act this territorial thing is there? So that is Territorial Act in 1940. Basically 8 May it has been came into the picture and 1950 May officially it has been announced in the country. So this was Territorial Army. What is the nature? They are part-timers in the particularly system. They operate under Territorial Act, that is basically Territorial Army Act 1948. Controlled by whom? So they are actually controlled by Ministry of Defence. commanded by Director General, a senior army officer, that is DGTA, and officers can be granted honorary rank as well, part of the regular army but not full-time soldiers. देखो, first of all, they are soldiers but not the full-time soldiers, part-time soldiers they are. Second, they are working under which ministry? So they are working under Ministry of Defense. Who is actually the commanding chief? So your Directorate General is the commanding chief, which is the highest army officer. Now they will be recruited as a only lower rank people, or they can also get the higher authorities or higher ranks. So yes, they are not only recruited as the lower rank people, they also get the higher authorities like higher ranks like your brigadier and colonel as well. And the last thing is that key officers can also be obviously granted such kind of a thing, and working under which act? They operates under your Territorial Army Act. Now the next thing, organizational structure, territorial army battalions is there, ecological battalions are there, home and heart battalion in there. Here that means ki if required they can also be asked in basically on platforms, maybe they can also be asked. Second number pe, if there is any kind of a disaster or ecological restoration process is also going on, then they can be called. Then if there is any heart or counter-terrorism related problem is also there, internal security pe if defense is working, then also they can be called. What is the role? They are supporting the normal RV, they are getting all the basically during that process they are all getting all the benefits which an army personnel is getting. They are also part of their logistic, engineering, medical support and all the things. They are also particularly people who are working to protect for the internal security. Disaster relief mein they are there, protection for any kind of infrastructure mein they are present. ठीक है. Who can join? General category people, anyone can join this basically thing, but your age should be 18 to 42 years. If you want to become a part of the territorial army, then age should be 18 to 42 years, nationality obviously Indian, but one more criteria, you should be employed. Yani ki when I am a teacher of IAS Origin, only then I can apply for the territorial army. If I am not a particularly teacher of an IAS Origin and पूरे 10 महीने I am just like I am doing nothing and then 2 महीने I will just go and do enjoy and work of the territorial army. नहीं. If you want to apply for the territorial army, you should be employed. This is the priority criteria for this. So must be gainfully employed, not employed. This is the criteria. Graduation is required. Must be physically and medically fit. Plus, if anyone is ex-serviceman, जैसे कि my father is retired from Indian Army, if he also want to join, then also he can become the part of the territorial army. But if I want to join the basically territorial army, I have to give the examination, interview, proper thing will be done. But if my father, who is an ex-army man, he want to become the part of the territorial army, so at that time he can become part of the territorial army without any examination, written examination process. So this is the difference between the normal process and the ex-servicemen if they want to take the entry in this. That is the process for the thing. So if I want to, and if I and you want to basically become part of the territorial army, what is the criteria? First of all, I should belong to your general category. General category matlab normal civilian entry. Age should be 18 to 42 years. Nationality Indian citizen. Profession must be kahin na kahin professionally. You should be gainfully employed. You should not be unemployed. Graduation is must because I have to give the written examination interview also, and must be physically and mentally fit. And if ex-servicemen want to go for the same, then there is no written examination is there, but yes, there is an interview kind of a process which you will see. Is territorial army full time? Obviously we have discussed this. No, 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 a big no. If UPSC asks you this कि भैया some घुमा फिरा के we ask the same statement, but the answer is yes. But the answer is that if I want to become a member of territorial army, it is not a full-time job. It is a part-time job. Members serve part-time 1 or 2 months in a year. Unless and until they are called. अगर नहीं ज़रूरत पड़ी तो they might even not called. ऐसा नहीं कि ज़बरदस्ती बुला के majorly काम करेंगे. But if not required, they will not be called. But कब कब बुलाए जाते हैं? When they are called in the situation of war, national emergency, any disaster or essential services management. So this is what actually territorial army is all about. Now they are also recruiting women in this. हाँ, देखिए बस the thing is that you should be employed. बोले वेले लोग हैं, वेले लोग तो बोले देशभक्ति नहीं करेंगे. You have to come if you want to go for the देशभक्ति, if you want to fight for your country, at least you should be employed for that. ठीक है. Now national Gopal Ratna Award has been recently, which you will see, that is National Gopal Ratna Award. So Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy recently announced the winners of National Gopal Ratna Award, that is NGRA 2025. So what is actually this award is? First of all, we need to see this. So this award is all about the award which we are giving to by the Department of basically Animal Husbandry and Dairying to the people who are doing their best in these sectors. Yani ki National Gopal Ratna Award are the national level awards in India instituted the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying under the Ministry of Fishery and Animal Husbandry and Dairying, yani the people who are working good in the dairying sector, fishery sector, agriculture which is related to the dairy and fishery, these people are awarded under this and money is also given to these people. So now this is a kind of a factual based question we will see. What is the goal is to honor is like dairy farmers, ठीक है, the people who are actually still following the traditional method for these dairying purposes, so they are still rearing the indigenous cattle and buffalo. So those people who are given this award, that is number one, goal is to honor the dairying farmers. Second, who are also involved in this artificial insemination technology, यानी कि जैसे हमारा IVF होता है, for the humans we have IVF, same kind of a process, insemination process is also done for the animals also. So the people who are working very effectively in this artificial insemination, जैसे कि one of the artificial insemination center you can see in Bihar, Bhagalpur also. So there are lot of, under the Rashtriya Gokul mission, lot of such insemination sectors, dairy sectors has been inaugurated, so that lot of people who are involved in this dairy farming, they can get benefit from the scheme, and basically the award will going to definitely motivate them for the further development. So artificial insemination technique who plays a key role in genetical improvement of the bovines, then dairy cooperative and milk producers, the particularly who are also providing employment to the people and the women, plus they are also working effectively for the government economy. So those are also given award for them. And a special award is given recently for your northeast region as well, and the Himalayan state in all categories. Yani ki these are the major three categories which you will see: dairy farming, artificial insemination technology, and dairy cooperative and milk productions. Who is like here they are working preserving the indigenous culture, here they are working for the artificial genetically modified to create a good kind of a bovines in future, and plus they are working in a cooperative society and production is done so that lot of people can also get employment from this. So all these three criteria are there, people will be awarded by keeping this in mind. Plus they have added one more thing ki northeast region and your basically Himalayan states will be given special award from this year. So this by keeping all the three goals or basically criteria in mind. So if UPSC asks you कि Northeast was always present in this, from the very starting this award was given to every particularly state of the India, so answer is no. Why? Because the Northeast and Himalayan states have given relevance, have given importance recent year only, yani ki this year only they have said that this particularly award will also be given to your Northeast and Himalayan states as well. So that's why don't get confused if they are asking you such kind of statements in paper. Now, historical context, obviously it was started in 2021. So, it's not a very historical event which has been started. So, in a very recent May 2021 it has been launched, and under the initiative which I have talked about, that is a Rashtriya Gokul mission. And the aim of this Rashtriya Gokul mission is basically to work on the more dairy production and by preserving the indigenous species and indigenous bovines, and also going for a artificial insemination as well. So, this is what also is a basically aim of your Rashtriya Gokul mission. So what is Rashtriya Gokul mission? Aims to scientific conservation and development of India indigenous bovine breeds. So this is what actually the aim of this mission, and obviously what will be the objective and what will be the conclusion of this. Obviously the productivity will going to increase, more and more farmers will get benefit from this, and definitely economy will going to be, the economy will be boosted. So this is what actually this mission is talking about. It was started in 2021 under a Rashtriya Gokul mission, and aim is to basically scientific conservation and development of your indigenous bovine breeds, and emphasize on improving the productivity, stock and conservation of these native breeds which we have discussed abhi. Now, what are the awards which are given? it is equally important कि what are the awards which are given. So best dairy farmer and best dairy cooperatives, मतलब if for the best cooperative and best dairy farmer and cooperative पे the they are getting the first prize. So 5 lakh plus certificate and memento will be given. Second place के लिए 3 lakh, third place के लिए 2 lakh, and for your northeast and Himalayan state special award which has been added, they will be given 2 lakh. So this is what actually the best prize, or the particularly the individual, the companies who are fulfilling all the criterias, if they are getting the first place under this award, they will be given 5 lakh, certificate and memento. If UPSC asks you, all the winners will get the money plus certificate and memento. So answer is no. Majorly only the first place is getting the 5 lakh, certificate and memento. Second place, third place, they are getting 3 lakh and 2 lakh, and northeast and Himalayan states, they are getting 2 lakh. Basically they are also getting 2 lakh. So this is what actually the prizes distribution which you will see. And anyone is working in the artificial insemination, certificate, memento, but no cash prize in the recent edition. You need to understand this. If anyone is your artificial insemination technician, that individual is not given any cash prize. Certificate, memento, but no cash prize in the recent edition. This is very important. कि under this mission who is working for the artificial insemination, यानी कि kind of a IVF of animals, bovines, तो उसको कोई भी cash prize नहीं रहेगा, but memento and certification will be there. I think why this is there, because already these particularly authorities or these centers are given lot of money as a basically grant or loan or investment, ताकि ये लोग ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा they can work technologically and very effectively in this insemination. So that's why this could be one of the reason why they have not given awards. But this is very important कि the artificial insemination technicians, they are only given certificates and memento, but no cash prize is given to them. Now vitamin K. Recently this particularly concept has also gained buzz, this particularly vitamins, and time to time not UPSC but state services, they have asked you about the vitamins as a question. So specifically UPPSC's favorite topic is your vitamins. So but yes, let us see vitamin K is in news and what is actually the benefits of vitamin K. Now it's a fat soluble vitamin, ठीक है, which is present in human body, and what is the main purpose of this vitamin K is that कि देखो होता क्या है, whenever let's see कि you must have noticed कि जब भी यहाँ let's say कट गया हल्का, there is a cut you can see, so blood आता है, continuously blood flow starts, but after some time same चोट पे on the same wound you will see a kind of a sticky kind of a red stuff, actually it covers that the blood actually get clots. ठीक है, थोड़ी देर बाद एक तो continuously sometime it's keep on bleeding, but after some time you will see a kind of a red blood clotting can be seen. The red blood clotting is important for the body because अगर खून continuously if you are bleeding, then definitely that will going to lead a huge blood loss in the body, and it might also be a deadly kind of a situation will also arise. So the vitamin which is important for the blood clotting is your vitamin K. So that's why this is one of the most important kind of a vitamins which you will see is present in human body, which is very important for the good functioning of the blood of the body. So vitamin K is a fat soluble vitamin that helps blood to clot and maintain a healthy bones. And blood clotting is very important. Very मतलब very important. Just imagine कि हल्का सा चोट लगा, which is very common in kids. ठीक है, अगर वो चोट लगा और bleeding रुकी ही नहीं, that might lead to a very serious problem in that particularly household. So that's why majority of the kids and majority of the basically we prefer, doctors also prefer कि kids should be given vitamin K, and individuals should also basically take a good source of vitamin K because it is very effective for future. अगर कभी चोट लगती है, it will help in the clotting of the blood. So this is what actually the vitamin K is there. And why it is in news, because it is believed that in this current modern scenario and the modern world, lack of people, now the majority of the people, they lack this vitamin K, and that is the major concern, and that's why many of the dietitians and doctors, they are specifically adding vitamin K related stuff and food and the supplements in the particularly whenever they are recommending some kind of a dietary supplements. So there are type of vitamin K which you will see, vitamin K1, that is known as phyloquinone, and it is found in and it is found mainly in a green leafy vegetables, which is a primary source in a normal diet. So nowadays we are eating palak and the sag which we are consuming. It is one of the major source of, you can say, vitamin K, and the particularly mineral kind of vitamin K is present, that is vitamin K1, phyloquinine. So if UPSC asks you which of the following, abhi let us see some other types of vitamin and then I will tell you what kind of a question UPSC can ask. So it is found mainly in the green and leafy vegetable, primary source of normal diet. Then vitamin K2, that is known as menaquinine, and it is basically produced by the gut bacteria which are majorly present in the body, and majorly you will get this K2, that is your menaquinine, from the dairy products, जैसे कि dairy, meat, some kind of animal proteins, and it is very important for bone and cardiovascular health. Now vitamin K3, that is your menodionine. ठीक है, it is not used as a supplement because of the toxicity concern. It is थोड़ा सा synthetic होता है, it is little bit toxic for the body. That's why majorly we doctors don't prefer to consume this vitamin K3, that is your menadionine. ठीक है, menadione. Now if UPSC asks you the term phyloquinine, menaquinine and your menadione, ठीक है, if UPSC asks you the term phyloquinine, menaquinine and your menadione is actually recently seen in news related to what? So what is the answer? Answer is your vitamin K. So these are kind of a types of vitamin K which you will see in a human body, and out of which vitamin K3 menadionine is actually synthetic form, and it is not used as a supplement because it is preferred that it is a toxic in nature. So if UPSC asks you all the vitamin K sources are toxic in nature, nahi. Two particularly types of vitamins are toxic in nature, answer is nahi. Only one, that is vitamin K3 is a toxic in nature, that's why it is not recommended as a supplement by the doctors as well. ठीक. So vitamin K is obviously found in all over body. It is present in your liver, brain, heart, pancreas, bone, everywhere. If UPSC asks you vitamin K is present only in liver and heart, answer is no. It is present in every part of the body, that is body mein, that is include liver, brain, heart, pancreas, bone, everyone. It's everything. Easily it is broken down, that means it can be easily excreted from urine and basically stool. That's why it is very important, and the researchers find that the toxic level is very rare. That's why majority of the vitamin K sources is recommended, but the vitamin K3 is a toxic in nature which is not recommended by the doctors. K1 and K2, that is phyloquinine and menaquinine, are the majorly two vitamin K3s, which is vitamin K is recommended by the doctors. Now why modern diet? This is the problem. This is why this article was in news, vitamin K, because modern diets lack such vitamins which actually leads to different kind of tiredness, which is actually disturbing the whole process of the body. And why this vitamin K is actually lacking in the current particularly food habit, because of the over fry. If जैसे कि अब जैसे spinach is one of the source of vitamin K, but what we are doing that rather than consuming it as a boil or in a basically with a less oil, what we are doing, we are making palak chaat. पालक के पत्ते को बेसन के साथ रख के, and we are over frying that, and we are saying that it's very healthy because palak is involved in this, spinach is involved in this. No, it's not a healthy stuff. So that's why our doctors are saying that, modern dietitians, what they are saying, ki why we are lacking this vitamin K in the body, because first of all, we are lacking such green leaves and particularly stuff in the food. Then over frying and over cooking of the vegetable also basically destroys vitamin K in the food. Long term antibiotic use, yani ki if particular individual is, if like XYZ person is suffering from any kind of a liver disorder and continuously they are actually consuming antibiotic medicines, so those antibiotic medicines are also killing the vitamin K in your body, and plus vitamin K also contribute obviously the bleeding, poor bone development. These are the consequences which you will face if vitamin K is not present in your body. Now, this is an island which is actually present in Udupi. Recently it has gained a particularly buzz. Why? Udupi police recently registered a case against 8 individuals who allegedly entered the restricted Darya Bahadur or Bhadhargarh Island, that is Bhadragarh Island, also known as Lighthouse Island. So this is a Darya Bahadur Island which is actually present near about your Udupi district mein. So this is known as Darya Bahadur Island, Bhadragarh Island, and also known as Lighthouse Island. So if UPSC asks you Darya Bahadur, Bhadragarh and your lighthouse, these are the three terms recently seen in news. These are basically the name of the island which is actually part of your Udupi. So this island is basically present in Karnataka. That is the island located off in Maple, which is a Udupi district, Karnataka. Okay. It is a part of, there are 4 other islands which are present in this region. What are the 4 other islands is that? Saint Mary, it is one of the 4 Saint Mary Islands, Coconut Island, North Island, Darya Bahadurgarh Island and the South Island. So this Maple Island, which is actually part of your Udupi district of Karnataka, it is actually made of a Saint Mary Island. So it is Saint Mary Island is a group of 4 islands, out of which one is your Darya Bahadur. So Coconut Island, North Island, Darya Bahadur Island and South Island is part of your Saint Mary Island. If UPSC asks you, these 4 islands recently seen in news, these are related to which kind of a group of islands? So answer is your Saint Mary Island, present where? Karnataka, Maple of, that is located off Maple, that is in Udupi district, and it is part of, this is one of the more restricted basically kind of a island because of the cultural things which are present there, because from the preservation point of view, normal human restriction, normal people are not allowed it after some time from the tourism perspective. So the next basically is just some facts which are important from this point of view. There is fort on this island which is known as Darya Bahadurgarh Fort, which is known as, then according to the local tradition, the fort was built by your Basavappa Nayak of Bidanur, that is Bidnur, many decades ago. There was a temple on this island which is also very important, made from the old tile factory, and according to the local and historical record, there is a temple dedicated to Balram and also Odam Bandeshwara on the island. So this is what the historical aspect which is related to this island. That is fort which is known as Darya Bahadur Fort. Local tradition के हिसाब से Basavappa Nayak was one of the founder of this. There are temples which are present of the old tile factories. Then you will see according to the locals there is Balram and Udam Bandeshwara temples can be seen on this island. Now this is the species of snake which has been recently found in your Nicobar. So what is the article? You can see the white thing over here. Okay. Researcher recently confirmed the discovery of Lycodon irvini, a glossy black wolf snake on a Great Nicobar Island. So this is basically the part of your, this particularly a snake has been discovered on the Great Nicobar Island. Now it has been recently discovered, and why it is known as Lycodon irvin, because it has been named after one of the Australian scientists. Okay. So Lycodon irvini was formally discovered in recently 2025, and it named after the Steve Irwin, the Australian conservationist. He was working on it. Discovery location obviously the Great Nicobar, which is part of your Nicobar Island, and found in a moist evergreen, particularly forest island where it has been found. So these are the characteristics of basically the where it has been found. Now one of the major notable feature of this snake is that it has a very glossy skin with some kind of, you will see, black color which have a white band. So I have shown you the picture ki thoda white stuff is there. So that is one of the unique feature of this Lycodon irvini, because it is uniformly glossy black color, close relatives that typically have a white bands and patches on the body. So this is the important particularly concept. The snake is slender, nocturnal, and can grow close to 1.2 meters in length. So it's a slender nocturnal animal which grows up to 1.2 meters in length, and they have also documented that they have a very high number of belly present. मतलब belly का जो particularly the kind of the size or kind of the length of the belly is very high or is very big as compared to the other basically snake species which has been found in that region. So the researchers has also documented a higher number of belly and tail scales compared to the similar species which are present in this region. So that's why this is one of the newest kind of a invention or newest kind of a species which has been developed. What is the special feature? They have a higher number of belly and tail scales compared to the similar species. Now, that's all for today's article. Already we have discussed a lot of important articles. We are trying to add more of the angle in these articles, but hope so you are understanding this. The same kind of question from the topics is actually posted on the websites also. Yesterday Milana was asking ki from where I can find this MCQs. So you can find these MCQs on the IAS Origin official website. So there is a particularly column where you will get the daily MCQs column, from where you can solve the particularly MCQs on a daily basis and learn about